Here with another Total War battle. I'm gonna be the dwarves versus the vampire counts in this one. I think this might have been just pretty early on. Alright, so here we go. Um, yeah, I'm pretty much, as I'm the dwarves here, I'm gonna have a bunch of artillery. I'll show you that first, I suppose. So I'm gonna have the bolt thrower. Going to have some of these grudge throwers here, and then another bolt thrower on the end. Bolt throwers are going to be really good against large opponents. Then we got the grudge throwers that are basically just lob big ass rocks and crush the infantry pretty easily. I guess I'll show you my formation here. Dwarves, you like to have a nice like layered formation. So as you can see, I have like infantry here, and then another line here, and another line here. That way I can really slow them down as they start to come in. Basically, they get caught up at one unit at a time, and then as that unit gets worn down, you throw the others in, and then just really hold them off while your ranged units just pick away at people. Then over here on the end, I have some these awesome little mohawk fuckers. These slayers, they're going to be very good against large opponents, so that's why I got them on the flanks. They basically take out any cav or monsters that try to come around, get to my back lines. Get some more over here. Infantry, it's pretty early on in the campaign, so I pretty much only have some dwarf warriors here. Just a couple lines of those, just sort of onion layered throughout. But they hold pretty well. The problem is these guys just got in a battle not too long ago, so all my units are really hurt right now. So this is gonna be a little rough, considering that they have the perfect things to fight against me. They have a bunch of Graveguard, which are gonna be anti-infantry. They're not armor-piercing though, as neither are these crypt ghouls, so they're not gonna be too big of a threat. But these guys, these great weapon Graveguard, they're pretty badass looking with these big ass swords. I'm hammering them already with my artillery because these things are armor piercing, so they'll be able to slice right through my dwarves, which are obviously like a very heavily armored race. So I pretty much just want to hunker down, start picking away at them with ranged units while they're just going to try to come in and just mulch through my infantry because their infantry is much stronger than mine, like significantly so. Except for a couple units throughout here, like these skeleton spearmen, they're pretty weak, and of course these little zomboys. Little zombosses, look at these fuckers. Yeah, they're very weak. They won't be a threat at all. And these bats, they're gonna want to get over into my ranged units, try to just tie them up so I can't keep doing so much damage. And here we go, some bolt throwers. That one just kind of bonked that dude in the face. But you can kind of see these coming through. Ooh, that one just destroyed that guy right through his shoulder. So he's down for the count. Nice. Then over here, I think we just got some more Skelly boys and a couple Graveguard. So that's not too shabby, but here we go. This is a nice clean fight. That's just why I wanted to record it. The front line and stuff holds pretty well, which is pretty nice. So, oh yeah, I forgot to show you my little heart of my army here, pretty much. My front line of range units. So right here, I'm gonna have all these quarrelers. They're gonna be crossbow units, which have a nice arc to them, which is why I have a line of these gunmen in front of them, these thunderers. They basically have rifles, and they're just going to be able to shoot in a straight line, kind of Last Samurai, any of these vampire counts that try to come forward, where these correlers have more of an arc to them, so they can shoot over these thunderers, do some serious damage. So that's going to be very nice. I got them in the front so I can get as many shots into these guys as they're advancing as they can. And then I'm going to try to pull them back and have my infantry step forward so they can kind of guard them from being charged. And here's my lord too. He's on his little strange mount. These little bitches are carrying him around, so he's pretty sweet. Got his book of grudges right there. That includes their lord over here, Isabella von Karstein. So she is their lord. She's a legendary lord. She's pretty strong, but I think we're going to be able to defeat her. So here we go. Just in time for the first wave of my guns and bolts coming in, just absolutely wrecking these graveguards with weapons here. We'll have a slow-mo one. But we just took out almost half of their health pretty much immediately. Oh yeah, just so much fire coming in here. Hitting some of these guys in the back as well, the ones that are missing. I want to get another shot of these gun line. Come on, boys. Launch these guns. Oh, we got a nice little grudge thrower rock coming in here. Boom! Bunch of bones blowing up everywhere. Here we go. Here we go. This is the good stuff. Look at that. Some Last Samurai action going on right here. Just charging straight into all these bullets. Alright, we'll speed things up. So look how much we've just wrecked their army already. We've done some serious damage on this advance right here. So I think we're going to try to get one more. Oh yeah. One more nice little volley. And then now we're going to back up. And then we're going to send forward our infantry. So I have a nice little switch right there. Oh yeah, and the front lines clash. And this is going to be a nice little pocket. This is what I was kind of hoping for right here. I just sent my Lord Thorgrim Grudgebearer, he's a beast. He's very strong. So I just sent him forward to try to glob up their infantry right here. So I got like 4 units just all sitting around him. It's going to be great because I'm just going to be able to pound them with my artillery and any guns or bolts that I want. Just really take apart these guys without worrying about much friendly fire. Because there will be some friendly fire. I'm going to be killing some dwarves by accident, but hey, it's for the greater good. So over here, I kind of pinned some of their flanks off with a group of slayers and some of these dwarf warriors. So that's pretty nice. That really stopped them from coming around here and getting into my artillery, which these bats did, but luckily I got at least one group of dwarf warriors back here. But the thing about dwarves too is their ranged units all have shields and stuff, and they're actually pretty powerful, so there's still a dwarf in the end, so they'll be able to beat up these fell bats pretty easily. And then over here I'm about to flank with some of my slayers, since they didn't have any big monsters coming in really. Pretty much killed them all on their way into the battle. So now I'm just going to be able to flank around with these guys and get a nice rear charge. So I'm coming around. That will kind of wreck their morale of the people you're fighting because they're surrounded. And nobody wants to be surrounded. Here we go, Mohawk boys. Yeah! So now we're really going to be able to pin these guys in and start doing some serious damage. And this is where I was showing you earlier, like we have just devastated these groups here. So this is pretty nice. We got these guys crumbling. The vampire counts, when they lose morale, they start crumbling, and their necromancer sort of loses their grasp on them, and they fall apart and become unanimated again. So it's kind of a cool little mechanic, but that's what's going on with some of these guys right now. They're breaking their morale just because they're getting absolutely pounded so hard by my range units right now. We got the bats coming in trying to slow things down, get me to stop shooting, but like I said, these guys are all still dwarves in the end, so they got their shields, they got their axes, they're about to beat up some bats, and now the bats are already crumbling, so they are no worries for me. So this is pretty great for me. I got rid of all their monsters, I got rid of anything that can kind of flank around and get into my guns and my artillery, so now we just gotta hold the front line while we just let the range units do their work, and they are working. So that's going to be pretty fun. Now over here, since we kind of got in control of these bats, and the bats are pretty much doomed, they're crumbling. I think they got like, yep, they're absolutely dead now. So now I can bring one more unit over here, sort of to replace these dwarf warriors who they've taken some damage. Like I said at the very beginning, these Graveguard they're much better infantry than what I got. So they destroyed that one unit, but like I said, the layers, got that second layer coming in now. They're absolutely fresh, where these Graveguard are not so fresh. So they're gonna be taking a beating. And over here, these Slayers are just absolutely destroying. Killed the last little bit of those skeletons. So now they're gonna be able to wrap around once I realize. Or I'm gonna take them away. Yep, it looks like they're gonna starting to wrap around these Graveguards, so we'll be able to kill them off pretty easily. So over here we got my gun line, like I said, just shooting the blob that's kind of formed around Thorgrim here. Don't have to worry about hitting him too much since he's one unit in this whole sea of skeletons, so it's going to be pretty great. We're just taking some nice shots, and just look at the bodies. We just did work right here. You can see just the line of dead troops where my range units were taking apart their threatening units here. Unfortunately, there's some, obviously you can see the splashes of blood, some artillery is hitting my own units, but like I said, for the greater good. Because now they're all crumbled. That is the end of them. Now they just have their lord here who's also crumbling, so they're not too worried about them. Yep, boom. Took some artillery to the face, and Isabella von Karstein is dead. So, like, none of their really dangerous units really got to my front line too healthy, so I didn't take too much damage. Some of these graveyard did some work, but a lot of them didn't even make it to the front, so I didn't have to worry too much. I got these slayers, did absolute work. These must have been the ones killing those skeletons. And then basically none of my units did like particularly well, except for the slayers and these grudge throwers, which were just obviously the all-stars. Those things were just absolutely smashing those skelly boys. But none of the infantry did too well, but they all held. That's the most important thing. They just held. Whenever one got hurt, another one would step into its place, and we just held the line while the guns did their work. And the guns didn't get a crazy amount of kills or anything, but they were just putting in consistent damage throughout the whole time, causing morale penalties, dealing damage, making it easier for my infantry to actually churn through some of these guys. So yeah, it was a pretty fun battle actually. It ended up being really clean and is pretty exciting. Not often in this game do you actually get the front lines to hold like that. Usually some chaos happens and something breaks through and things get messy. But yeah, this was a fun one. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.